my YouTube channel. Okay, let us move on to the next uh, part. This is the 17th part. It may take one more part, one or two parts to complete this lesson. Okay, some of the students just when video is sent to your group, WhatsApp group, just opening and 1 or 2 minutes they're watching and leaving. Okay, you are not watching the full entire one and you are not writing the important points, I think. Okay. This before this part, 17th part, 16th part I completed. In 16th part, we learned portal circulation, double circulation. Up to that. Okay, starting from the cardiac cycle up to that is the working of heart. That is the second important essay. Okay, now today in this part, our main attention is on the attention in this part is blood vessels, regulation of heart activity, regulation of heart function, regulation of cardiac activity. Normal activities of the heart are intrinsically regulated. Okay, normal activities of the heart are intrinsically, or that means auto-regulated by specialized tissue called tissue, by specialized muscles. That means that is a nodal tissue. Okay, we have already talked about nodal tissue, distribution of nodal tissue in our heart. Where is it? And sinoatrial node, AV node, next AV bundle branches, and Purkinje fiber. Okay, this is the nodal tissue distributed in our heart. Okay, our normal, our heart is myogenic heart. Okay, myogenic heart means the heart without any external stimulation, it can, on its own, it can produce action potentials, it can contract and relax without any external stimulus. Okay, that's why human heart is called myogenic heart. It was given in previous NEET exam. Normal activities of the heart are intrinsic or loved up. These are the atrial contraction, atrial relaxation, ventricular systole, ventricular diastole. These all normal activities of the heart are intrinsically, internally auto-regulated. By who is doing that auto-regulation? That is a nodal tissue, which is a specialized muscle. Cardiac muscle is modified as nodal tissue, which is regulating the normal activities of the heart intrinsically. Okay, special neural center is also present in our brain, in the medulla oblongata of our brain. It can also moderate the cardiac function through autonomous nervous system, ANS. Autonomous nervous system has two components. Can you tell me what are the two components of autonomous nervous system? One is the sympathetic nervous system, the other one is the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, I will show you that in the next slide. Here, this is the first point. In the previous slide, this is the first point. Normal activities of the heart are intrinsically auto-regulated by specialized muscles called nodal tissue. You can see the nodal tissue here, the sinoatrial node, here AV node, and AV. Now here you can see the bundle of his bundle. Then these are the bundle branches. Then Purkinje fiber. This all together we call nodal tissue of our heart. Okay, that is a nodal tissue. A special neural center in the medulla oblongata of the brain can moderate the cardiac function through ANS. See here. Okay, medullary CV, cardiovascular center. Cardiovascular center. Here it is acting on blood vessels. Vascular, cardio means heart. Okay, it is sending signals to our heart in the form of through the sympathetic nervous system, and through the parasympathetic nervous system. They're bringing impulses to our heart. Okay, that is the second point. A special neural center in the medulla oblongata. What is that? What is that special center? Medullary cardiovascular center. Okay, what it can do? Moderate the cardiac function through ANS. Okay, sympathetic. These two together we call autonomous nervous system. Autonomic nervous system. Okay, next, neural signal through sympathetic nerves can increase the rate of heart rate and strength of ventricular contraction, and therefore cardiac output also increases. Okay, the signals from this one sympathetic nervous system. Okay, sympathetic nervous system increases the heart rate. That means number of beats. Therefore, CO cardiac output also increases. Earlier we learned cardiac output is equal to what is meant by cardiac? The volume of blood pump or heart pumped out by heart from each ventricle per minute. That is called per minute. That is called cardiac output. When the cardiac heart rate increases, cardiac output. For example, normal heart rate is 72 times average. If it becomes 80 times, then the cardiac output also increases. This is done by sympathetic nervous system. Okay, the next one is the parasympathetic system neural signal can decrease the heart rate of heartbeat and thereby cardiac output. On the other hand, this is the para parasympathetic nervous system. It decreases the heart rate. Heart rate is decreased here, and therefore cardiac output also decreases. Okay, next one, that's the end of this one. Okay, let us see the next slide. Regulation of cardiac activity. Regulation of cardiac activity. One is the intrinsic regulation. It is auto. There is a nodal tissue. Okay, regulates intrinsically, and extrinsic regulation by neural regulation. Just now I have explained you that one medulla oblongata for brain at how it is acting. Okay, next, let us see about the hormones, hormonal role. Like here, you can see chemical hormonal regulation also good. Now, I'm going to explain this part. I explained this part in the first point, and the remaining next points we learned about neural regulation, and now we are talking about hormonal regulation of cardiac activity. Okay, look at here. We have adrenal medulla. The adrenal medulla, the adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla is the inner part of the adrenal gland, suprarenal gland, adrenal, which is present over the on the top of the kidney. It is present on the top here on the kidney. Adrenal gland is present on the kidney. Okay, it has. If you take the adrenal gland, if you take the adrenal gland Okay, adrenal gland has two parts. One is adrenal cortex. Outer part is called adrenal cortex. The inner part is called adrenal medulla. This adrenal medulla secretes two hormones you learned in first year also in tobacco when the person he smokes tobacco or when he chews tobacco when he snorts it in the form of snuff. Okay, therefore heart rate increases. Therefore, cardiac output also CO also increased by epinephrine and norepinephrine or adrenaline, noradrenaline hormones. The increased cardiac output is increased. Another hormone, thyroxine, also increases heart rate as well as cardiac output also increased by thyroxine hormone secreted by the thyroid gland. This is the hormonal regulation. Okay, this is the hormonal regulation of our cardiac activity. Okay, that's about regulation of cardiac activity. Next, we talk about blood vessels. Blood vessels. Okay, blood vessels form a tubular network through the body that permits blood to flow from the heart to all the living cells of the body and then back to the heart. Okay, from our heart, blood goes to the body parts and all the living cells of the body. Again, it comes back to the heart. Okay, blood leaving the heart passes through the vessels of progressively smaller diameter referred to as arteries, arterioles, capillaries. Okay, I will show you here. Okay, now here from blood is going from the heart. Okay, this is the artery. Artery divided into arterial. Then what are formed here? These are called, what are these? Capillaries. Okay, that's the meaning here. Blood leaving the heart. Blood leaving here, we take the heart. Okay, blood is going from the heart. Blood leaving the heart. Blood leaving the heart, passing through the vessels of the progressively smaller diameter. Observe here, the diameter is gradually decreasing progressively. For example, here this is the diameter, this space, this is lumen, this is the diameter. Okay, the if you observe here, the size of this pipe is gradually decreasing. That means in the diameter is for example, this larger diameter, then the diameter decrease, then the diameter still became smaller, and the diameter became, okay, in this way the diameter is progressively decreasing here. Okay, blood leaving the heart passing through the vessels progressively smaller in diameter, referred to as arteries, arterioles, and capillaries. Arteries, arterioles, what is this one? Artery, arteriole, and what is this one? Capillaries. That's next. Capillaries are the microscopic vessels that join the arterial flow and venous flow. Okay, here is one flow is going on here, and here is one flow is going on here. Okay, here is one flow is going on here. These two flows are joined by what are the structures here? Okay, these are the capillaries. The capillaries are the microscopic vessels that join. For example, this hand is one artery, this is the vein. Okay, these are the capillaries. Okay, capillaries are joining the two flows, joining the arterial flow, blood flow, and venous flow. Okay, that's about that one. At any given moment, about 30% of the blood in the systemic circulation will be found in artery, and 5% in capillaries, and 65% in the veins. Okay, it is also important point, note not given in textbook. Okay, come to the next one. Okay, blood returning to the heart from the capillaries passes through the vessels of progressively larger diameter called venules and vein. Blood returning to the heart. Okay, here. Okay, again I will show you here. Here, blood leaving the heart. Again, blood here I am taking heart. I am taking heart. Now through this one again blood comes to the heart. Okay, blood returning to the heart. Okay, here blood has gone from the heart. Now again it is returning the heart. Again it is coming to the heart. Blood returning to the heart. Okay, heart from the capillaries passes through the vessels of progressively larger diameter. Observe here, the diameter venule, for example, diameter is 2. For example, here diameter is 3. Here diameter is 4. Here diameter is 6. Okay, here diameter is gradually quite opposite. Diameter is gradually increasing, progressively diameter increasing here. Okay, per diameter, what do we call venules? You can see here, what is this one? Venule. And next one, the diameter of the venule is smaller than the diameter of the vein. Okay, and veins. Arteries and veins have essentially three layers and their three layers. Okay, in their walls. Okay, that what are the three layers? It is also important in NEET papers, recent read mock test papers. Okay, NTA in mock test paper they gave this bit. Okay, tunica externa, tunica adventitia consists of fibrous connective tissue. Next one, tunica media made up of smooth muscle, and tunica interna made up of endothelium and basement membrane. These are present in the, okay, arteries and venules have essentially three layers. What are the three layers? Tunica externa, tunica media, tunica interna, tunica externa, tunica media, tunica interna. What are they? Tunica externa, tunica media, tunica interna. Right. These are the three layers. What I have taken here, I have taken here an artery in its wall. This is the wall of the artery. Okay, then you can see the wall of the vein. This is the wall of the vein. This is the wall of the artery, tunica adventitia, tunica media, tunica intima, tunica media, middle tunica intima inter here. Again, you can see the same colors this side also, tunica externa, tunica media, tunica interna. Okay, where are they present? So tunica externa, tunica externa or tunica externa or tunica adventitia. Okay, here tunica adventitia, tunica intima, tunica media, the three layers. Okay, this is consists of fibrous connective tissue. It consists of smooth muscles, and let us see the details there. Tunica externa here. Okay, it consists what we learned here. Tunica externa consists of fibrous connective tissue. Come to the tunica media. Tunica media consists of smooth muscles and elastic external elastic lamina. These two are present in tunica media. Come to the tunica interna or intima, and it consists of innermost layer endothelium and subendothelium. Okay, then what is present? Internal elastic lamina. These all are present layers. You can arrange these all layers from outside to inside, inside to outside. Okay, that's you can see again here artery, vein. Let us see from the inner side endothelium, then subendothelial layer, then internal elastic membrane. Then what comes here? Smooth muscle and elastic fiber. Next, external elastic membrane, collagen fiber. Okay, finally, vasa vasorum. Okay, vasa vasorum. Okay, we study that later. Okay, that's the these are the layers in the artery. Okay, now in addition to the above layers, arteries and arterioles have two elastic laminae on either side of the muscle layer. Okay, in addition to the above layers, arteries and arterioles have two elastic lamina on either side of the muscle layer. Okay, tunica externa, tunica media, tunica interna, we learnt here. Tunica externa, what are present? Fibrous connective tissue. Tunica media consists of smooth muscle. Tunica interna consists of endothelium. Okay, in addition to these three, on either side of the smooth muscle, you can observe in this figure, on either side of the, what is this one? Muscle. Okay, below the muscle, above the muscle, there, what is this? Elastic lamina. Elastic here also, you can see elastic lamina here. Of the, what is this one? Arterial. What is this one? In the wall of this artery and arterial on either side of the smooth muscle, what is present? Internal elastic lamina and external elastic lamina are present. Okay, that is the point here. Either side they have elastic lamina, two elastic lamina, one on either side of the muscle layer. Veins have only one elastic lamina. Observe here. Okay, in veins, okay, look at here. I am comparing these two. Here, elastic lamina, this color. One only here, two are there, but here only one elastic lamina is present here. External elastic membrane, only one external elastic membrane is present in the veins. The muscle layer in the much thicker in the arteries than in the veins. Okay, the muscle layer is thick in the arteries. The muscle layer is thick in the arteries. Okay, you can see that this thickness is much thicker than the veins. Next one is, okay, the muscle layer, the endothelium of the veins is double folded to form valves. Okay, inside the veins there are valves are present. Endothelium of the veins is double folded. This is important one, and which are directed. The valves are directed towards the heart, and they allow flow of blood towards the heart only. Okay, they allow blood only towards the heart. Okay, these are the differences between arteries and veins you learnt in earlier previous classes in our lower classes also. Arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart except the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery carries a deoxygenated blood. Veins carry what type of blood? Veins carry deoxygenated blood towards the heart, but here away from the heart except the pulmonary veins. here except the pulmonary artery. These are bright red in what is the color of the artery? Bright red in color. What is the color of the veins? Dark red in color. This is 4 marks also. These are red in color, dark red in color, here bright red in color. First one, arteries carry what type of blood? Oxygenated blood, except pulmonary artery. Veins carry what type of blood? Okay, or deoxygen, except pulmonary veins. What is the color of the arteries? Bright red. What is the color of the veins? Dark red. Next one, these are mostly deep seated in the body. Arteries are inside, not but veins are very superficial. You can observe some lines over your hand here. Okay, those are generally veins are superficial, they are visible to us, but these are deeply seated because they have very important blood, oxygenated blood. Arteries are thick walled as the tunica media is relatively thick. I to showed you earlier, tunica media is made up of smooth muscle. The thickness of the smooth muscle is more here. Okay, these are thin walled. Tunica media is relatively thin with one elastic lamina here, with the two elastic lamina are present. Lumen, the internal space here, lumen is here. Okay, this is the lumen here. Lumen is narrow here. Here there is a big lumen, larger lumen is present here. Non-valvular, here valves are absent, but here valves are present inside here. There is valve, these are one-way valves, they only allow blood in one direction, that is towards the heart. Okay, next, blood in the arteries flow with more pressure and jerks because our heart is pumping blood into artery. That's why water flow, blood flow with jerks. But here, the blood flow in the veins is steady, steady. But in arteries, it's like jerks. Next one, blood in the arteries flow and pressure is more, BP is more. Generally, our BP is measured here in the brachial artery. The blood pressure is measured in arteries. Here, BP is low, pressure is present. Arteries end in capillaries, whereas veins start with capillary. These are the difference between arteries and veins. Okay, this is the structure of the capillary. I will talk about this structure of capillary in the next part. Okay,